Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we are Uncle Billy is getting the fan motor going on the organic bin, and then we're going to start transferring that over, but that's going to take most of the day, so we need something to tie us over for the rest of the day. Well, we got this thing to go through. This is a shoot, who's the maker of this? Unverfirth Zone Builder. This is a 5-shank ripper. It's a model 130, so it's got 5 disc holsters and then just 5 deep shanks. So it's basically the same setup as what Welkers are running at the moment. If any of you guys keep up with Welker Farms, it's just a really smaller version of what they're going with. And we run, looks like about 12 inches deep. That's what this wear plate is. So this is a replaceable piece so that you don't have to replace the entire shank when it wears out. And then you have this front piece as well. And you got these, which I don't know if those are like a trip edge on the bottom. I'm not exactly sure about those, but they look in decent condition. None of them are wore out or nothing, so it looks like we should be all right to rock and roll with this year. Now this has been sitting for 7 years just because of the fact that we haven't had a tractor that can pull this. So we are going to run it first before we grease it, just to kind of get all the joints broke loose and stuff, because all these coulters were seized up. I had to go through and kick them and get them to turn again, and probably the same with all these joints. So we need to get it out and in the ground, and we'll rip some ground with it before we grease it, because then all of these grease zerks have a better chance of taking grease. So that's what we're doing with that right now. It's just sitting here yet. We still got to do a little bit to the 8430 before we can take this, but this takes right around 220 horsepower, I want to say, to pull it. Dad left a while back before I got here to go and pick up a calf, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to the calf area and see if there's a stall set up. I'd imagine there is. Dad usually does that before he leaves, but I'm just going to make sure it's all ready and make sure it's all bedded down with straw and everything. Okay. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but a very bad series of events has occurred, and somehow my mic mount just broke. So yeah, I'm gonna have to figure something out for that. But yeah, looking here, Dad hasn't set up a pen yet, so I'm going to set it up real fast with a super duper fast time lapse. So I got that set up, and it's kind of tedious holding this mic and using it, but I got it set up. Dad will have to chuck some straw in there, and the head gate's not exactly fastened on, so he'll have to baler twine it up or something. But I'm getting back up to the shop and see what I can do with this microphone to get it to hold onto the camera again. This radio has a super YouTube specific feature. Check this out. It's got this little remote, and it's got a mute button, so if a copyrighted song comes on... No, it didn't work. Look at that. You don't have to leave your... Oh, wait. No, my seat's all the way over there. It works from 3 or 4 feet away, I guess. So, there's nothing a little duct tape can't fix. Or in this case, Gorilla Tape. Check that out. The mic mount's solid. It's not coming back off. It's still got some shock mount to it too, so you won't get some really bad stuttering and chatters in the audio. So hopefully it works still. We just gotta snap the mic back on. Now that we have brought the Movo mic mount back up to factory specs, it's time to get back to work. Honestly, I think this Movo mic mount is actually above factory specs, because that plastic is very thin. And when it gets out in this cold, I think it just gets brittle, because I wasn't even touching the mic. It just literally snapped off. Pretty bad, so hopefully it doesn't happen again. Now, we have this J&M gravity wagon right here, and we are going to use it to hold our steer feed that we mixed up yesterday. Yes, we actually ended up making all that feed yesterday. So it's still got some soybean seed in it, which we stored in it last year. So we're going to pull it over to the wash rack, and we're going to scrape all of this out and power wash it out to get all that seed coating out. And then we got the wagon all taken care of. It is tucked in right here, and we got it full of feed. It's got all the feed in it for these big boys right here that are sitting here munching. Them big boys are going to the local fair next year. I cannot believe how windy it has been the last few days. We have had some serious gusts come through here. Like, look at our flagpole. Well, it's not as bad as it was, but when I had the camera pointed towards me, that thing was bent right over. That was crazy. But I'm not complaining. This wind will dry out the rain that we got very quickly. So I made a goal to myself that I'm not going to get any equipment stuck, because I managed to get at least 1 to 2 pieces stuck per year, and I'm making it a goal now to where I'm not gonna get anything stuck. Obviously, things like the combine, that's a different story, because you got to get every single thing you can out of a field, so you go into some pretty dicey situations. But for the most part, I'm gonna try and not get any piece of equipment stuck. And by the way, you may hear this thing running. We are going down to poke around in some fields south of here. I believe they were the first ones planted, if I'm not mistaken, so they should be our driest fields. So we're gonna go down there and check them out. I'm gonna let this warm up, and then we'll head down and get started. So I was going, and all of a sudden a code popped up, which I've never seen this combine throw a code before. I didn't even know it could, on our little LCD screen in there, and it said, what was it? 72 something. And I looked it up, because as soon as it threw the code, the combine died, and it was a short in the wire going from the ECU to the governor on the injector pump. Well, we looked through the wiring. There was one spot where it looked like it might be, so Dad and me went back up to the farm after we took a moisture sample. Moisture sample said 14.2, so we decided we're just gonna haul this straight in, because Uncle Billy's having troubles with the transferring, and so he's working on that, but it's not done yet. So we would just be sitting still if we aren't hauling in. So we're gonna just haul straight into the elevator. We got a 5,000 bushel contract that we need to fill anyway, so we're gonna get that done. And yeah, so Dad taped up the wire. We're gonna see if it's working or not, and we're gonna fill this truck up. So I am throwing corn out the back, so I gotta open my sieves up a little bit and close the concave down just a little. There we go. Your goal is to make fine adjustments to get the very most corn out of the field while taking the least amount of dockage when you get to the elevator. Because you want to be making the most amount of money possible if you are making money, and you want to be losing the least amount of money possible if you're losing money. We're going 2.5 miles an hour. So much faster than beans, I tell you. I love corn just because you can just fly with the combine. Oh, I'm not even looking at, the camera's not even looking at me. You can just fly with the combine, I tell you. 2.5 miles an hour feels fast. Sometimes you can get up 2.7, 3. I mean, I was going this fast in a bean field, but not all the time. It would be in places where the beans weren't really thick, so corn's just so much more fun. And here in a couple days when we're running at full blast, today's just like a test day, I'd say. I'm just filling the hopper bottom in the cart tonight and then calling it quits, and maybe go out hunting. But once we're going full bore into the bin and into the elevator and everything, there's a job for all 3 of us. That's what's awesome. Doing beans, it's like one person can do the whole job. And occasionally you got one person going to the elevator and one person just sitting we're working on something at the farm. So corn, everybody gets involved, and it gets really fun and really irritating. Like today, the combine started throwing a code, and it's wire going to the governor. Like I said, it's still doing it, just not as frequently. But we're gonna call the dealership that it services our area and see what they think. We're gonna start out changing a fuel filter because we don't see any bad parts in the wiring, and we're gonna start with changing a filter and then moving up from there, and maybe the dealership will have to come out and look at it if we can't get it fixed. But that's all later on. It's moving right now, and that's all that matters. She's full. I'm gonna start the truck up and let the air build up while I run the next hopper, because I'm still about a third of the way full, so it won't take me very long. And then we'll head up to the farm and swap the truck for the cart. Bring the cart down here and fill that up. I found you guys. And yeah, you guys spent the night in this tractor. I forgot about you guys until I got home last night, and I was like, oh, I forgot they're out there. Yeah, so we got a bit of this field done, over half, and it all fit in the hopper bottom, and there's probably 2 or 3 dumps in this cart. But the combine was having problems. It eventually got to where this thing died on me, and I could not get it to start back up again. And then I finally got it to start back up, came up here, dumped. I was just sitting here at an idle waiting for Dad to get here, and she petered out and died again right here. So this thing, it's got electrical problems somewhere, and what sucks is literally every single wire on this machine, if it shorts out, it can literally cause it to do what it's doing now. So it is a big problem. What we are realizing is this started happening right after our last fire we had, which was, the fire was up by the batteries, and there are some big connectors up there that that go to a lot of the main framing of this. So we are gonna crawl up there later today and start testing stuff. Uncle Billy took the truck in this morning, so that is empty. I'll bring that down here later after I'm done editing and dump the cart into that, and hopefully Dad can have this wiring figured out. We are really hoping it's something seriously obvious, just standing out and saying, hey, look, it's me. But because if not, we can have some serious money sunk into this thing and some serious time. And the worst thing is we can't even have Deere come out, because Deere is just going to do the exact same thing we are. They're going to start with something simple and troubleshoot all the way up, replacing a bunch of stuff as they go and costing a lot of money. Scrolling through the forums, this problem, they had Deere come out and they sunk $4,500 to $6,000 into this machine, and we really don't want to do this. This is the last year this machine's going to be working for us. We don't want to sink that kind of money into it if it's just going down the road. So we are hopefully finding something really obvious, because it's going to be a real pain in the butt if it's not. But this is the end of the video for you guys. Next video, you guys will see what's wrong with it, if we can find out, and hopefully finish this field and this field and get some start on some fall tillage. That's my goal anyway. Get both of these fields finished and get started on fall tillage. That is the goal for today. So thank you for watching. Please hit the like button if you liked this video, and subscribe if you want to see more just like it, and go down in the comments, put something nice. The YouTube algorithm, the way it works is the more comments a video gets, the higher it goes on the suggested to watch and stuff like that. So comments and likes are what really get this video popular. So go down there, put something, and I'll see you next time.